All right, today we're going to look at a tool that makes a pretty bold promise, the KumaKuma Manga Editor. It's designed to help you create manga, even if you can't draw a single stick figure.
So let me just ask you, have you ever had that dream? You know, the one where you're making your very own manga, creating your own characters, building whole new worlds, telling your own unique stories from the ground up?
But, and it's a big but, maybe that dream always felt just a little bit out of reach, because there's always that one massive hurdle, right? The years and years it takes to learn how to draw, to master things like anatomy and perspective, it's a huge commitment, and for a lot of us, it's the one thing that stops us cold.
Well, what if we could just change that whole equation? Today, we're going to dig into a tool that promises to open that door for a whole lot more people, a tool designed to finally lower that barrier to entry.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We're talking about an accessible, new tool, the KumaKuma Manga Editor.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, to put it simply, it's a comic editor, but it's all based on 3D models. It's built for Windows users, and it's specifically geared towards creating that classic Japanese manga style we all know and love.
Okay, so where does a tool like this actually fit in? I mean, on one hand, you've got the big professional-grade tools. They're super powerful, for sure, but they come with a serious price tag, a real investment. Then, over on the other side, you've got KumaKuma. It's aimed right at beginners, it's all about being affordable and easy to get into. Now let's get to the whole point of this thing, creating without drawing. Let's take a look at the core features that are supposed to make this whole thing possible.
You know, you can really get the whole vibe of the software from this quote from the developers themselves. Our goal is to let everyone create manga without conquering the barrier of learning how to draw. So it's not about replacing artists, it's about empowering storytellers.
So how does it actually work? Well, it all kicks off with your character. You can just jump right in and start customizing pretty much everything. Gender, hair color, clothing. Want some spiky blue hair and a cool leather jacket? A couple of clicks and boom, you're there. It's all point and click, no drawing necessary.
And what about their emotions? How do you bring them to life? Well, you don't have to sit there sketching out all these complex faces. Nope, you literally just drag some parameters onto the character's face and you see the changes happen instantly. It's a really neat way to craft your own unique expressions.
And it's pretty much the same deal when it comes to actions and posing. The editor has hundreds of pre-made poses ready to go, everything from running to fighting. But if you need something super specific, like, say, a character leaning against a wall just so, you can create your own custom poses. You can even drop multiple characters onto the canvas and have them interact.
Okay, so every story needs a setting, right? KumaKuma handles this with pre-installed 3D background models. And this is really cool because they're 3D, you can move them around, rotate them freely, which means you can get a bunch of totally different scenes out of just a single background. It's super efficient. And to really give your scenes that dynamic, almost professional feel, you can even play with the camera angle and the depth of focus. It's kind of like you're the director on a movie set, Setting up the perfect shot to make an action scene feel intense or a quiet moment feel more personal. Okay, so all of that sounds fantastic, right? But let's pump the brakes for a second and do a quick reality check. To get the whole picture, we've got to look at the good and the bad, the pros and the cons.
So here's the deal. You got to understand the trade-offs. On the plus side, you've got those super flexible 3D models where you can adjust all the joints and those versatile 3D backgrounds that save you a ton of time. But then there are the, let's call them, growing pains. A lot of users are saying the asset library is still pretty limited, and some find the interface a little clunky compared to other tools. And here's a weird little quirk that's important to know. Once a character is made, you can't go back and edit them. You have to literally delete them and start from scratch.
So, taking all of that into account, we get to the big question. Is this tool actually for you? Let's get to a final verdict. Honestly, the takeaway here is pretty straightforward. This is absolutely ideal for aspiring creators, people who have these amazing stories to tell but are looking for a way in, something affordable and accessible that lets them just get started without getting bogged down by the drawing part.
And look, if you're still kind of on the fence about it, I want you to remember one number, 2, as in 2 hours. That's how long you can test out software on Steam and still be able to get a full refund.
What this means is you can give it a shot with literally zero risk. You buy it on Steam, you mess around with all the features, see if it's your thing, and as long as you keep it under 2 hours, you can just decide to keep it or get all your money back. It really is that simple.
And that kind of brings us full circle, right back to where we started. For anyone who's ever had that manga dream but felt stuck because drawing just wasn't their thing,
The real question is, could this be how your journey begins?